Why do we do school at home when we homeschool? We step away from the mainstream approach in educating our kids to do something entirely different, like homeschooling. And we know we're doing something different, and everyone else knows it too. They ask us if there's a holiday as they see our kids in the grocery store on a school weekday. They ask us if we're certified, if we've been to teachers' college, even though they haven't called it that since Anne of Green Gables attended. They ask us how we access curriculum and if we can meet the local standard or learning outcomes, as though the local standards aren't different from the next province or the next state or the next country. Even random strangers know that what we're doing isn't mainstream. It isn't a conventional, educational, brick and mortar approach, and yet, we bring our kids home or keep our kids home to have them sit at vintage desks that we found on Kijiji for a smoking hot price. We pine for that chalkboard that we ask for as a Mother's Day gift because it'll make an amazing Instagram backdrop for our homeschool. And we line up like dutiful school soldiers when we stuff our shopping carts with multicolored markers and new crayons, even though we own a lot of markers and crayons. We just have to look underneath the sofa cushions. And then we wake our kids up at 7:30 so they can do their morning routine, get their teeth brushed and make their beds and put on something other than pajamas, unless you're a family that doesn't need that. You make breakfast, which means the oldest sibling grabs the cereal box and opens it up and pours it with a little bit of milk that goes into the bowl and a whole lot of Cheerios that goes down the counter. You find yourself on the family room sofa at 8:30 sharp for morning basket or circle time or morning announcements. All those three terms are known in the homeschool world, but in the school world, it's known as morning bell, minus the sofa. We pull out the children's animal devotional and compare the functions of an animal to the character of God, either inspiring the kids' attention or just super weird. We read a passage from the classical composer's book and listen to a piece from Spotify because kids gotta know the difference between a classical period and a romantic period. And the day continues in all sorts of academic ventures, and they're all amazing. And we feel like we have to do them because we need to give our kids an education, right? Well, what is an education anyways? In my course, Homeschool Mama Retreat, well, we're going to talk about what is an education anyways, and do you want to view your homeschool differently than you have before? Do you want to re-envision it? You're at the end of the homeschool year, or close, and you're thinking, is this how I want to do it next year? Well, if you want to explore a different way of thinking about your homeschool, check out the free mini course, the Homeschool Mama Retreat, which you'll find in the link in the bio, and join me in re-envisioning your homeschool.